What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And, folks, look at this 5.01. We are crossing this boundary, this line right here, right? That served as support for some time, I'd say around 1998, all the way up until you can probably say 2005, turned into resistance, and now it just kept coming down, and we're fighting up against it, and we're just like crossing, and so it's looking like um, we're we're gonna break out. Folks, you there's a lot of attention happening right now to distract of what's happening. There's a lot of news stories circulating about, I'm not gonna mention any names, but it's all a distraction. You gotta ask yourself, what are they distracting you from? Why is this certain story being published at this point in time? Folks, I think we're having a lot of look over here, put your attention over here versus like paying attention to the things that really matter and are going to affect your life and your children's life. Um, and I think that's because of the financial system, the change, the policies that are going to be changing. And I think here, the next several months are going to be crucial. I think what you're going to see is um, uh, maybe monetary, fiscal policy changes, right? And I think that with all the discussion of, the Fed chair being removed, yada yada, it's all a distraction. And I think they're gonna debase the currency, and as they're debasing the currency, and what the outlook looks like for growth and supply of of money, it's going to you're going to see the long end of the yield react to like the economic growth, um, the demand, right, that there is from the consumer, and everything gets priced in ahead of time. And I think what you're starting to notice is that the tea leaves, like when it's summer and you're about to begin fall, you kind of can tell by the changing of the color of the leaves on the trees. But you're starting to see those colors. I mean, they've been flashing, right? Like if you've been paying attention, you've been able to see that, the writing on the wall, and it's going to become more obvious and apparent if it isn't already for a lot of people. And right now, a lot of people will be caught by surprise. A lot of people are reading the headlines, right? The mainstream saying, "Oh, we need to cut 300 basis points. We need to be much, much lower." But no, we we don't. Actually, quite the opposite. And in the event where we have, different Fed chair that's nominated, who is, putting out there that, we got to cut rates or do X, Y, and Z, what you'll see is the long end of the yield curve do the opposite and go up, right? And then my hypothesis here on this channel has been that we've bottomed, folks. As far as bonds are concerned, we're going much higher. We've just ended a 40-year downtrend in yields, which is a bull market for bonds. And now we've reversed. And so the dynamics that you're about to see in the world, you're going to see a lot of volatility, folks. I think that's going to be a consistent amount of volatility. There's going to be things they highlight, to say, hey, this is what's going on, this is the problem, and blame it on that, and use it as an excuse to keep on debasing the currency. And that's inevitably what happens towards the end stages of certain empires, right? And so now let's go here and look at the 30-year mortgage rates. We've gone up 0.03%, 6.75, and I'm hard pressed to tell people you're not going to get cheaper mortgages. I think it's going to be increasing, but what they'll do is they'll bring down the face value of the house, right? it, like you're seeing in states like Texas and Florida, right, that had the hottest housing market that peaked in 2022, they're cooling down quick. You can see a lot of the South. Uh, Again, each region is different, but you can see a lot of places, right? Their prices are coming down drastically. I mean, in Florida, you're seeing homes that were like 500,000 now cut down to 250, and so certain sections of the economy still have not, gone to that point, but there are price cuts, folks. And so, whether you see them or whether you don't see it as much in your area, right? It doesn't mean it may not be coming. And also, maybe your area where you live might not be impacted by it. Maybe it'll be, more moderate. Maybe you didn't have a lot of people moving in, right? There's a lot of factors to consider. Um, and so, I think that it's very important to stay vigilant, stay aware, right? So, with that being said, I think we're gonna keep trending up. So, keep an eye on that, and let me know what you guys see in your area. If you're starting to notice more price cuts come around. So, anyways, with that being said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Digital Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.